As the next phase of Brexit gets underway, it appears that the UK and the EU start by agreeing that they share one of the biggest goals. Neither side want to have to pay customs duties to trade goods. Tariffs would hurt. If there's no trade deal now, EU exporters would face £12 billion in duties on goods coming into the UK, while UK exporters to the EU would face costs of £5.2 billion. Much of this likely to be passed on to consumers. But there's a hitch. The EU said in the document this morning that to get a zero-tariff deal, it wants a level playing field to stop Britain posing too much of a competitive threat on their doorstep. Boris Johnson has said no to anything that means following EU rules. That's because of this, set out in today's government statement, the ambition of restoring a relationship of sovereign equals, otherwise known as taking back control. This would see Britain being able to do things differently to the EU in areas like workers' rights and the environment, rather than relying on European courts to enforce common rules. But this has even more consequences, with the EU listing areas like science and innovation and youth culture and education, development and international cooperation and so on, that won't take place if the UK doesn't change its red lines. And it ignores that Britain's already agreed to follow some European rules in areas like citizens' rights. Fast forward to 2035, and government economists suggest Boris Johnson's type of Brexit deal will have knocked 6% off GDP compared to staying in the EU. That's a bigger drop than Theresa May's Brexit deal, and about the same scale of losses seen in the financial crisis a decade ago. Boris Johnson says this is all worth it so Britain can re-emerge after decades of hibernation inside the EU chrysalis. The negotiation will determine what this looks like in practice.